Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our college football bowl game predictions. We're going to be predicting every game on here except for the playoff games. So if you're, wanting to see those, you're going to have to wait until next week. I believe that is when I will be making it. In a week from today will be the 26th. So yeah, that will be perfect there. So yeah, I'll be doing those picks next Tuesday. But for this video, we're just gonna pick all the other bowl games. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. If you're new, we got lots of content around here. College basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and NBA every Thursday. Loads of content. Make sure you subscribe if you're new and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. So yeah, some of these games have already happened, but none of them are really like important. I will say so. Yeah, we're just gonna go through what I have so far. So I picked Ohio in this one. They pretty much dominated the whole game. Florida A&M, I picked them as well. I didn't know they were 12-1. Good for them. Yeah, they win a close one against Howard. Louisiana barely loses to Jacksonville State. I had Jacksonville State in this one. App State and Miami. I actually had Miami. App State did pull it out. Good for them. Um, Fresno State and New Mexico State. I think I had New Mexico State as well, just because they beat Auburn. But Fresno State actually dominated them in this one. So 9-4 season, really good. They won their bowl game. Good for them. UCLA I had in this one, and they did win. Texas Tech, I believe I had in this one, and they beat Cal. I had Western Kentucky here. They took down Old Dominion on a game-winning field goal. But yeah, that's all the games that's already happened. Now we're gonna go into the picks portion of this video. In the Frisco Bowl, I'm gonna take UTSA. They were in the running for the American League championship game, really up until the final week. If they would have beat Tulane in that last week, they would have went to the title game and not Tulane. They're favored by 7.5. I'm gonna take them. They had a very very solid season. Syracuse and South Florida going up against each other in the Radon Bowl. I don't know how to say that, but I think that's how you would say it. Syracuse is favored by 3. They're both 6-6. I am going to take Syracuse. They're in the ACC, so they've played a lot better competition than South Florida has. So I'm gonna go with Syracuse there. UCF and Georgia Tech. This one's a tough one actually. This one should be a decent game. Georgia Tech beat UNC, I believe it was earlier this season. But UCF has been not a bad team. They almost beat Oklahoma. They dominated Oklahoma State. Um, I this one is really tough. I'm actually gonna go with UCF. I think they are the better team here. They are favored by 4.5. 4.5. I'm gonna take them in the Gasparilla Bowl. In the Camellia Bowl, we got Northern Illinois and Arkansas State. This is a tough one. I'm actually going to go with Northern Illinois. I'm going to take the upset here. Usually Northern Illinois is pretty good, and it's only Arkansas State's only favored by 3. I think Northern Illinois can get it done. Duke and Troy. This one is actually in the Birmingham Bowl. This is actually a really good game. Duke, obviously, without Riley Leonard, he has entered the transfer portal and he's heading to Notre Dame. I'm actually going to go with Troy. I feel like they got a little more to play for. Duke has been a very good team this season, but Troy is also 11-2, and I think they're going to want to get this one. Most of their players will be playing, and yeah, I just think they're going to come out and want it more. They're favored by 7.5. I'm going to take them. The Armed Forces Bowl is featuring Air Force and James Madison. Air Force was undefeated for a while until they lost quite a bit of games in a row. I think they lost their last 4 games, so pretty far skid after the loss to Army. Um, James Madison, only one loss on the season, 11-1. Their only loss came to App State in overtime, and they did get into a bowl game, so good for them. I was hoping they were able to play in the bowl game. They're only favored by 1.5. I'm gonna go with them. I don't know. I think they're just a better team. Only one loss on the season, and Air Force has been really cold recently. So I'm gonna go with James Madison. Utah State and Georgia State, both 6-6. Utah State does play a little bit better of competition. They're favored by 2.5. I'm gonna go with them in the Potato Bowl. The Ventures Bowl is featuring Eastern Michigan and South Alabama. South Alabama's the heavy favorite in this one. They're favored by 17. I'm gonna have to go with them. I can't really bet against that. Northwestern with a surprising 7.5 season. They're gonna be up against Utah here in the Las Vegas Bowl. I do have to go with Utah. I think they're just a lot better of a team than Northwestern. They finished the year 8-4. Had an argument to be ranked inside the top 25. I personally didn't include them in my final top 25, but they definitely had a case to be ranked. But I am gonna go with them over Northwestern. I don't think Northwestern can finish 8-5. I just don't think they're good enough for that. Utah's favored by 6.5. I think the defense is just gonna give Northwestern's offense some troubles. In the Hawaii Bowl, we got Coastal Carolina taking on San Jose State. So San Jose State will be a lot closer than Coastal in this game. I do have to go with them. A lot of people are taking Coastal Carolina. They have been really good recently, but they're only 7-5 this year. San Jose State is going to be a lot closer than whichever Carolina they're in. This is in California, only probably a couple hours of flight to Hawaii, and then for Carolina, that's got to be a rough travel. I know you'll be heading there probably a week before the game, so they're probably already there as I'm recording this, but I do have to go with San Jose State. In that one, the Quick Lane Bowl featuring Minnesota and Bowling Green. I do have to go with Minnesota. They play in the Big Ten. I know they're 5-7, so not a good team at all. But compared to Bowling Green, I think they should be able to win this one. The First Responder Bowl is Rice taking on Texas State. I'll do it. I'll go with Rice. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with Texas State. I don't know. Rice did. Uh, I'll go with Rice. Actually, I gotta sprinkle in some upsets, so I'll go with Rice here. I don't know. I just kind of feel like this one could be one where they win. I don't really have any reason for it, but I gotta take some upsets. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl is UNLV taking on Kansas. This one's got to be Kansas, right? I mean, they have Jaden Daniels. Not Jaden Daniels, Jalen Daniels. I still can't get it right. Um, Wait, it is Jalen Daniels. Did I? I don't know I don't know what I said originally, but Jalen Daniels. I don't even know if he's playing in this game. It might be Jason Bean. He looks like he kind of took over because Jalen Daniels was out. Kansas, sorry, is favored by 12.5. I gotta go with them. The Military Bowl. I'm gonna go Tulane. I don't really have to put much thought into this one. They're just a lot better of a team than Virginia Tech. I am very surprised to see that Virginia Tech is favored by 10.5. I don't know what that's all about. I gotta go Tulane. I don't think Virginia Tech will be able to score against Tulane. I mean, Tulane um, was very close to beating Ole Miss earlier in the season. I don't think anyone would take Virginia Tech to beat Ole Miss. I gotta go Tulane. I know. I mean, I'm very shocked that Virginia Tech is 10.5 point favorites. I'm taking Tulane straight up in that one. North Carolina and West Virginia. West Virginia is actually the favorite. They're 6.5 point favorites, and I actually am gonna go with them. North Carolina is not gonna be with Drake May for this game, and probably not with a couple other of their guys. And even with them, they weren't anything special. I mean, 8-4 in the ACC this season. It's not anything too crazy. So I am going to go with West Virginia. They had a very solid year, going 8-4. I think they can win in the Mayo Bowl. Now we're starting to get into the better bowls, in my opinion. Um, the Mayo Bowl is, I guess, really all of the bowls before this Tulane game haven't really been interesting, but these are the games where you really want to start paying attention. So these start in about a week. Starting with the Holiday Bowl, USC is taking on Louisville. USC is going to be without Caleb Williams. I think Louisville is just going to play hungrier. I think they'll be able to get this one. It is. I think this game is in California, which could. Yeah, it's in San Diego, so that could hurt Louisville. They're not going to have as much fans, but USC is going to be without Drake May. They're going to be without a lot of, or not Drake May, Caleb Williams. They're going to be without a lot of guys. And Louisville is probably going to have their whole team playing in this one. They're going to want to win this one bad. They're going to want. I mean, that would be a huge win to beat USC for their program. I think they get it done. Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, man, this one I don't know where to go because when you look at Texas A&M, they 7-5, another disappointing season. They just played LSU really close though. They have a close loss to Ole Miss. They have a close game with Alabama. They have a close game with Tennessee. Um, so those are all ranked teams who, I mean, all of those games besides the LSU game are less than 7 points, 7 or less than 7. LSU being 12, so it's not like they're getting blown out in any of these games. I don't know if Ollie Gordon is gonna play. I actually think Texas A&M can get this one. They're the betting favorite. We got 76% on Oklahoma State though, which makes me think a little bit. But after thinking about this, I am gonna go with A&M. Maybe it's the SEC bias. I don't know, but I gotta go with Texas A&M. Boston College and SMU. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. SMU should dominate. SMU, I think, could be some top 25 teams. I think they're probably the best Group of Five team. Now, what's it called? Now Liberty is going to have something to say about that, but I think SMU would beat Liberty if I'm being honest. Now they weren't going to get the New Year's Six selection being with 2 losses, but they are a really good team. The stats really like them. I'm going to go with SMU. We got the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Miami Hurricanes taking on Rutgers. I'm going to go with Miami. They were ranked for a little bit this season. Rutgers has lost 4 in a row, I believe. I'll go with Miami. We got the Pop Tarts Bowl. Kansas State taking on NC State. This one's going to be a really good game. 2 ranked teams. You see number 18 and number 25. This is probably well, I won't say the best. This is probably the second best non-New Year's Six bowl game. There are a couple others that we'll get to. The Sun Bowl this year is really good. The Citrus Bowl. There's plenty of. I mean, this one, the Alamo Bowl, you can see down there. But this is one of the better ones. I'm gonna go with Kansas State. I've been liking them all year. The analytics are really liking Kansas State. I'm gonna go with them. They're favored by 2.5. Give me Kansas State. The Wildcats over the Wolfpack. Looking at the Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma taking on Arizona. There's gonna be no Dylan Gabriel in this game. Which I think people might be forgetting. Oklahoma was really good near the end of the season. I actually am going to go with Arizona. I think they're going to have more players just playing in this one. I mean, yeah, Oklahoma's losing. A lot of guys either being at the draft or the transfer portal, especially Dylan Gabriel. He's heading to Oregon now. Wishing him the best, obviously, but yeah, I think I think just more guys are going to want to play. They had a very phenomenal year going 9-3, and I think they can win this one over Oklahoma. So I'm going to take them. the Gator Bowl, Kentucky taking on Clemson. I gotta go Clemson. They turned it on late in the year. I know Kentucky's a very solid team. They have a very, very good running back in Ray Davis, and yeah, but I am gonna go with Clemson. I don't know. I like Clemson here. They really turned it around during the season around, and obviously 8-4 is not what you want to see from Clemson. They also started the season in the top. Um, I don't remember what they started. I think it was like 8 or 9. But yeah, so a disappointing year, but they did turn it around, and I'm gonna go with Dabo Sweeney. They do got to start utilizing the transfer portal though, if they want to continue to be good. The Sun Bowl, Oregon State taking on Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I don't think that Riley Leonard will play. Sam Hartman, I believe, is going to the draft. I don't know if he's playing in this game. But DJU, I believe, is also transferring. Actually, I don't know if I'm 100% on that. But I know they just lost their huge recruit in Childs, quarterback. He went to Michigan State. I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. This one's gonna be a defensive battle. I just think Notre Dame's the better team. Give me them. The Liberty Bowl, Iowa State taking on Memphis. I am gonna go Iowa State. They have had a really under the radar year, going 7 and excuse me, going 7-5. They just took down Kansas State to end the season. That was a great win, and I think they should be able to handle Memphis. They're favored by 9.5. The Cotton Bowl, Ohio State taking on Missouri. Missouri right now is the 1-point favorite, and in this matchup, I really don't know who to take. Obviously, I want to go Ohio State. Kyle McCord did transfer out, which I can't say I'm upset about. He kind of cost us the game against Michigan. If it weren't for his 2 interceptions and huge mistakes, we would have won the game, and we would probably be in the playoffs. If we had C.J. Stroud still, if he returned, we probably would have won it all this year. Just because of how good the defense was and how good Travion Henderson and Marvin Harrison and Cade Stover and Abuka, all of them were. So I'm hoping the best for him at Syracuse. I don't think Ohio State was the right place for him, so I'm glad to see that he is going somewhere where he feels he can be better. So, you know, good luck at Syracuse, and yeah, we're just gonna have to move forward. Don't think Marvin Harrison will play out. He's probably gonna go for the draft. He is still undecided though. This could be a potential breakout game for guys like Carnell Tate, Brandon Innis, all of their freshman receivers. I think Abuka is playing, and I think Denzel Burke is also playing. So I do have to go with Ohio State. Missouri has quite a bit of playmakers, offensively and defensively, but I still am going to go Ohio State. I just don't think they'll be able to score enough against the Ohio State defense. We got the Peach Bowl, Penn State and Ole Miss. This is another really tough matchup. I believe both these teams will have most of their team playing. I am going to go with Ole Miss, though. Penn State is favored by 4. Drew Allard, the offense just can't score. The defense is going to be tough, but I don't think Penn State will be able to move the ball against Ole Miss, and I think Ole Miss will be able to score just enough. I think both these teams will have most of their guys playing. I'm not aware of really anything that huge that either team is missing, but yeah, no, I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I just think in this matchup, I think they're better. Penn State might be overall better, but I just don't think they could score. Give me Ole Miss. We got the Music City Bowl, Maryland and Auburn. I'm going to go with Maryland. Another upset pick. Auburn's favored by 7. I'm going to go with Maryland. I think Talia is gonna play in this one, and hopefully he can get a win here. He's been really good. I think he might be the all-time passing yards leader in the Big Ten. If not in the Big Ten, it's just at Maryland. But he's had a great career. I think this is his last year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go Maryland. We got the Orange Bowl, Georgia and Florida State. Florida State should have made the playoffs, but it is what it is. They don't have Jordan Travis. They're not going to beat Georgia. It's just pretty simple. Georgia's favored by 14. Wyoming and Toledo. I'm actually going to go with Wyoming. Wyoming almost beat Texas earlier, and it is in Arizona, so that's a lot closer than Wyoming's a lot closer to Arizona than Toledo, Ohio is. So give me Wyoming. They're favored by 3.5. The Relia Quest Bowl. I don't know how to say that. Wisconsin LSU. I'll go LSU. They're just by far the better team. I don't know if Malik Neighbors is playing. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing. I don't really think it matters though. Give me give me LSU in this one. Fiesta Bowl. I thought about Liberty, but they're not beating Oregon. I mean, it's Oregon. They're favored by 17.5. Bo Nix, I don't know if he's gonna play in this one. I don't know if guys like Troy Franklin will play. I don't know if Bucky Irving's playing. They just picked up Dylan Gabriel. They also got Dante Moore from UCLA, so that could be interesting. But yeah, no, I gotta go Oregon. There's just no way Liberty wins. The Citrus Bowl, Iowa and Tennessee. Man, this one's tough. I'm gonna do it. I'm taking Iowa. Tennessee's offense hasn't been anything special this year, and Iowa's defense has been phenomenal. I think they might be able to force some turnovers from Joe Milton, and I think this one could be a 10-7 kind of game. I think Iowa wins. But yeah, that's gonna do it. We got the playoff games down here. That's gonna be next week's video, just covering these two specific matchups. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do plenty of content around here. Turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of that content. We got college basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and NBA every Thursday. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that. You can follow that. Whatever you'd like to do. And I will see you guys tomorrow with NFL game predictions. Yeah.